Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Yusril. Welcome back to the Carrier Rework Beta. It's Tier 6 day. Today, plan is to play a few games with Ryuju, play a few games with Ranger, get up to Tier 8, maybe try some of the anti-air cruisers as well. Of course, Tier 6 is where the fun really starts with those. Also, I am keeping a very close eye on the bandwidth situation. I'm hoping it's going to hold up, because YouTube is still trying to upload the VOD of last night's stream, and that's chewing up a bit of bandwidth in the background. I'm hoping it'll be okay. Let me know if things start going a little bit dodgy. Good evening, Kieran. Good evening, Shaky Hazard. Let's just get straight into it. Because, of course, the difference between Tier 4 and Tier 6 is that we now have fighters to play with, as well as the point defense on the carriers. So, captain skills. Now, the suggestion was, I think if we go for plus 20% boost time for transit, and they also suggested torpedo acceleration. This was what the guys on last night's stream were saying. Take these skills, Yusril. Take these skills. Aircraft recovery time, honestly, that's about the only one that really makes sense. But you do get 50 aircraft readiness points for each ship level. So I have to wonder if that's just going to give me quicker turnarounds. Oh, increases the HP of ships and aircraft, including catapult aircraft. I think that might be worth getting. And then for the Tier 4, we'll follow on with... yeah, we'll go for fast aiming, I think. Again, that's the obvious one to take. I have to wonder if IFHE... No, it specifically says shells and in guns. It doesn't say bombs. I mean, you would think, ha, that wargaming would make the difference, but we'll try it without. Hello, Westo. Radar Blues. Yep, we all get them in destroyers from time to time. Also, I have a Borks. Ah, it's just a standard Borks. Well, let's leave the standard Borks where it is and get straight out with the aircraft launching destroyer. So, again, it's going to be bot games. That's just how the population rolls at the moment, I'm afraid. Nature of the test server. So, we're in for a good 90 seconds or so wait on each game, but at least we'll have plenty of targets to work with. Okay, so Tier 4, as noted, was basically an artillery race. Who can do the most amount of damage, put the most weapons on target, cycle their bombers the fastest. Tier 6, as noted, fighters come into the game, so this is where it's going to hopefully start getting a bit more depth, because Tier 4, okay, it's the introduction tier. Okay, wargaming have a tendency to use it like an extended tutorial. Honestly, I am not a massive fan of that. I would rather just see a dedicated tutorial mode and then, hey, welcome to Tier 4. You're playing with the big boys now. Go play co-op if you want to have an easy jump in and get your feet wet, not literally, you understand, before you start playing with other people. However, wargaming are running it differently, so there we go. Hello, Rick. Good to see ya. Okay. Where are we headed? Bandwidth is... okay, bandwidth is holding at 3000 kbps. That may or may not be enough. I really do not want to abort the upload that's half done. Well, hopefully it will stay steady once we actually get into the game proper and it needs to start pushing us slightly harder in code. I make no promises about the frame rate tonight. There will be a local recording being made, and it will be going up on YouTube as and when, and it will be in 1440p with a bit of luck, so we'll see how that plays. Anywho, Yusril, Legolas, good to see ya. Legolas, Yusril. Hey, Yusril. Wait, what? Brain, what is brain? Anyhow, the game is afoot. Ranger and Ryuju on both sides, mix of cruisers and destroyers to target. And of course, Ryuju, like Hosho, gets the Japanese AP bomb, which will be interesting. Of course, the Japanese did have AP bombs. They actually used them at Pearl Harbor. Well, I say AP bombs. They were converted 16-inch armor-piercing shells that had basically had fins and mounting brackets strapped onto them. And I think an improvised detonator and safety as well. Okay, frame rate looks good on the stream. Bandwidth has just notched down even further, 2.8. I'm just hoping this will haul up if it needs to. Okay, there we go, 4009. Okay, bandwidth is happy, it's prioritizing Twitch. Yay for smart routers. Woohoo! So, standard drills, of course. We'll get the fighters up in the air to start with. Interestingly, these stock fighters, for some reason, have the same response as the premium ones. I don't know if that's deliberate. So, away we go. Yokosuka D4Y, 2s, and... oh, we have the cloaking device once again. Wargaming really need to fix that. Also note the increased health on the bombers. Also note the speed, 222 knots. That is kinda nippy on the burner, and that extra 20% really does make a difference, doesn't it? Okay, he's put rockets up first. Okay, well, let's break away. And we'll call in the fighters. And I got clear of his 3-kilometer circle. He's running into mine. Oh, there we go. Okay, both sides' fighters have kind of engaged, and the other side's fighters have also gone in. However, I have a battleship to bully. Let's turn round and go, 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 go. Carrier detected by the enemy, of course, but he's going to run into my defensive fighters. Or maybe not, so let's just focus on the bomb run for the moment. Commit one. And adjust, adjust, adjust. Bomb's gone. 1 pen. Okay, haven't lost any significant damage thus far. Let's try them on the carrier instead. Has he put his defensive aircraft up? Is he even maneuvering? Do we care? No, we don't. Alright, commit. Commit, commit, commit. And 3, 2, 1. Bomb's gone. 1 overpen straight through the hangar and out through the keel. So much for getting some free kills. Again, it's the weakest fighters that are left, and we're down 1. Let's just abort the strike and put a squadron of torp bombers in the air. There's a cruiser to potentially go for. At least the cloaking device is fixed. And yeah, frame rate is nice and stable. Excellent. So we saw a cruiser down at the inner ring. We'll go for him. Again, 183. So dive bombers, rather like the rocket strike aircraft, are nice and quick. Now, is he going to drop his fighters? He's going go for the intercept. Has he backed off? Nope. Right, dump the fighters. Force an active circle down. He's going to fly right through it, and with a bit of luck... there we go. Right, commit to the attack. Stabilize. Stabilize. Release. May not have left myself enough arming time there. Don't really care. We'll go for a battleship instead. Torpedoes are running. 2 shoot downs, but I don't think I left enough time for a impact. Stabilize, launch immediately. Cut that one close. You can see a yellow marker on the torpedo sight. That's the minimum arming distance. So yeah, if you now smack your weapons straight into the target, you have no excuse. 280 health. Come on, just drop the weapon. There we go. Bomb released. Back to the carrier. Let's go with the AP bombs again. Torp bombers are still recovering, and with the high speed on these things, I should be able to go hit that battleship. But yes, you do get a very nippy response out of these dive bombers. Just be nice if I can hit something. The fact that the mouse and the keyboard can both be used to make aiming adjustments means you can often end up fighting your own controls. Right, decelerate, hard over. Bad line, but what the hell. Let's go for it. Boom. Ah, citadeled. Accelerate up, turn round. We'll hit the battleship again. Yeah, survival experts definitely helping the durability of flak, so that's worth considering. Now we need to lead this guy a bit further this time. There we are. Commit to the attack. Turn, 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 turn. Commit. Okay. 2 left. Right. 2,000 health. Got a good line on this guy. Commit. Actually overshot on that one, so that's going to miss. Back we go. Right. Rockets. Because I can. Center reticle on the bow when approaching. Yeah. Yeah, I have to admit, I'm hoping there'll be more depth as we go on, but really the fact that your air defense is basically limited to 2 charges per squadron per game, again, it kind of takes the fighter escort out of it. This is very much a... it's a fun shooter, don't get me wrong, but depth, not brilliant. It's all about who can cycle their aircraft to the quickest. Yoink, there we are. Right, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Commit. Okay. Nice and simple. There's nothing complex about this. Well, I say there's nothing complex. There's nothing complex about it at first glance. At the same time, it's... I think it's one of the... they're intending as one of those perhaps easy to learn, hard to master approaches. Let's go for this guy. Come on. Rockets up. Lead him. Lead him. Boom. 2 more, just roll over. Nah, not going to get those guys. So, full over, straight through their flak. Hope I survived long enough to get a strike at this guy. There we go. Commit. Ah, never mind. They both got taken out. Fine. Let's see. Dive bombers again, I think. Try for that cruiser.
Airborne.
And while we're at it, I'm going to do something a little risky here. Yoink. And I'm going to move up. I'm going to move the base plate up. This may be dangerous. This may be somewhat suicidal. On the other hand, being able to cycle your squadron so much quicker is going to make life a lot easier. Okay, 1 Leander. Well, he's not got much flak to think about at the moment. On the other hand, we did see Fusseaus proceeding to massacre quite a lot of unwary aircraft, so commit to dive. Release early. Completely botch the launch, circle round, and try and pick this guy up at the stern. Brakes. Okay. Here we are. Straight stern to bow approach this time. Lead him. Target is in a defensive turn again. Align, align, align. Bomb's gone. Really? That lead time really does take some getting used to on these things. Note to self, dive bombers against cruisers. Not even once. Okay, skid round. Commit. Turn, 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 turn. Got him. Looks good. Sit it. Right, got there in the end. Had to give him quite a generous chunk of lead. Usual starts to overextend CV. Absolutely. Look at it this way. If it's all about the artillery and the cycle rate on your sorties, if it's all about the damage, you want to be up front in a carrier, at least as best you can. Anyhow, they've got something in the circle. It's probably the destroyers. Let's go play spotter for a bit. Where are they? Where are you, little victims? Ah, there he is. Right. Drop on. Is he manoeuvring? No. Commit. Commit. Bomb's gone. Well, torpedo's running. Hit the booster, circle out. One hit. Weapon's still running. Reverse back, we'll try for the kill on the battleship.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
Okay, committing launch. Stabilize. Stabilize. Commit. And we got an overrun attack on one of the other destroyers. Okay, that was unexpected. Weapons are running. Not fast enough, though. Okay, we're gonna lose the strike here, so return to carrier. And dive bombers, not enough in the air. Rockets it is, then.
Maintaining present course. Waypoint reached. Destination reached. Taking fire.
Oh no, it committed the dive bombers immediately. Okay, fine. Turn in. Commit.
Target.
Bombs gone.
Returning. Taking fire.
Fine. Rockets up.
Maintaining present course. We're under attack. Taking fire. Taking
But yeah, I
fire.
mean, that's how fast you can cycle. Yeah, those are dive bombs, I know.
Approaching target.
It does queue a squadron if you're not careful.
Returning.
Okay, he's burning. And yeah, wow. That's... I believe that is what they term a Charlie Foxtrot. Hello, little destroyers. Are you trying to mass your flak, or is the AI just having a bad day?
Engaging enemy.
That one, I think.
Taking fire. Returning to ship.
And that battleship still isn't dead. Fine. Oh, I get a fourth strike. Even better. Also, I am forced to note that I am capping in a carrier. There's something going on here that is very, very wrong. Come on, stabilize. Rockets away.
Returning.
Okay, his damcon's out, so he should
Starboard.
just burn. Circle back.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Come on, 600 health. Commit. Rockets away. Boom. Return to the carrier. Torps up.
Enemy battleship.
Need to kill this cruiser before it finds me.
Maintaining present course.
Not that there's much left of the Pepsi. Deep waters are well and truly running.
We're under attack. Approaching
Okay.
target.
Commit to a bow launch.
We're under attack.
Torps
Returning
running.
to ship.
Push over. And he's dead. Torps would have got him. Let's circle around and see if we can't swordfish this guy. We need the Clubson bot from yesterday. Yes, we do. Where is the Clubson? Okay, start the run.
Approaching target.
And this time give it a lot more lead than you think you need to. That'll do.
Turning to ship. Taking fire.
Drink away. 2 hits. Turn it back.
Engaging enemy. We're under attack. Taking fire. Returning
Rushing
to
that
ship.
shot a little, but let's get the bombers up. Need to get the lander. Okay, 1 hit. I'll take it. Oh, carrier detected. Right. The Leander or the Bayern? I think the Bayern has got to die first. That can actually hurt me. The Leander is a nuisance and he's got multiple surface vessels closing on him. So, yank. Let's see, target the bow of the ship. There we go. Mark for dive. And bomb's gone. Okay, wow. Okay, those bombs have a really long runtime, don't they? Okay, abort that. Put fighters up. Rockets up as well. Oh no, it really does take the double tap, doesn't it? Okay. Rockets went up properly, and never mind, Leander's dead anyway. Fighters did go up.
The ship is on fire.
Carrier on fire. Yes, so, right, abort that, fix it. Get more rockets up. Sorry, torpedoes up. Whatever. And also dump my fighter squadron. Maximum air cover. And I've somehow capped in the Ryujo. No flooding from 6 torp hits. What's the chance? Well, I think most of those torp hits hit the Bayern's belt. And there's not, it has to be said, much of a warhead behind these torpedoes. Okay, right. Lock on. Start the run. Attack run engaging. Stabilize. Wait for the right moment. Fisher running. Circle round, try and catch the target again. Okay, one on the bow, got a flood. So it's simply a question of where you hit the target. Rather like standard torpedoes, really. I don't know why I'm expecting anything else. Okay, 45 degrees stern attack. Target is turning in, just minimum range, go. Circle round, launch again, and I'm on fire again. Okay, one of the Ouija staff members was querying why you might need immediate access to Damcon. Oh, wow, those went out fast. Apparently, I have got very good fire crews on this thing. And launch. Way too short, honestly, but there you go. Okay. Dive bombers again, I think. Oh, 2 hits. Wow, I was not expecting those to hit anything. Also, thank you whoever laid smoke. Right, let's go bully a buyer. Yeah, Ranger, several of us have asked for it. Wargaming's approach is kinda, well, the fires go out quickly, so perhaps it's not a big deal. To which a lot of other people are saying, yeah, actually it is a big deal, guys. Okay, lead him, bomb's gone. 1 hit, 1 pem. Circle back. Dive bombers, rather like the current incarnation, are still very sensitive to impact angles. Okay, snap fighters, launch rockets. Again, teleporting landing gear needs to go. Commented that before. Right, let's skirt round. Let's drop fighters to distract him. Run the bombers past. Come on. Full ahead, full ahead, full ahead. Into the approach. Rockets away. Boom. Such misfortune. And, okay, the fighters are still on me, which is kind of annoying. Okay, now they're not. I think they ran out of ammo. Oh, my fighters just chased him down, which is entirely possible. Oh, hello, little boat. Yank. 2 hits. Let's circle back, hit that lead destroyer. Couple of rockets. Come on, go for the shot. Fire. Ah, missed. Back we go. Yeah, torpedoes for these guys, I think. Bit evasive, but there you are. And I'm on fire again. That guy is really trying to get me dead, isn't he? I've been methodically ignoring him for the entire fight. Okay, yoink. Right, let's go. Destroyer's turning back, so... dump the fish. Not sure that a human player would have been hit by that, but there you go. Go for the cross drop on this guy. You can rush the drop, of course, slightly, and just... oh, shotgun. Torp's running, Torp's running. Ah, damn it, it was just inside. He turned in and was inside the launch window. Alright, photo that. Dive bombers up, fighters up. Just contain that as best we can. Let's go. Come on, fighters. Do your stuff. Yeah, that'll do nicely. And we're almost to the end of the game. So, 90,000 damage. Almost dead with the carrier. Capped. Yeah. More boat bullying in planes. Can't do that so much with the system. And you can't cross-drop, so destroyers are less of a target than they were. I don't think there's any question about that. But overall, not too shabby. Oh, wow. Okay, I'll take a 2,000. 41 air kills to their Ranger. You know what, let's give the Ranger another go. Head back to the port. Yeah, so the fighters do add a bit of depth to it, but I'm not entirely sure that it's enough to stop you just turning it into a thing. Can you order all the planes to be? No, Ranger. It's 2 at a time, basically. Rockets are the easiest to use, but they're also relatively weak. Let's have a look at the numbers for a second. So the attack aircraft are actually converted zeros. 207 knots top speed, 7 seconds of afterburn, 10 seconds recovery. Type 3 number 1 Mark 28, 1800 damage on 28mm of penetration, compared to 6,500 damage from torpedoes and 6,000 damage from AP dive bombs. So torpedo bombers theoretically can do the most damage, but they're probably the... well, after the dive bombers... yeah, it depends. A maneuvering target could dodge torpedoes. Basically, you cannot get a dev strike in it, not unless you detonate him. Certainly not on a battleship. A destroyer, maybe, if he was 2 tiers below you, highly unlucky, and was sailing around saying, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. But yeah, carrier dev strikes are pretty much a thing of the past. They're deliberately capping how much damage you can put out in a single burst. It's not like Kaga, where you can dump an outrageous number of torpedoes once. It's kind of bye-bye. Then again, we might see some dedicated strike carriers come down the line once they start putting in secondary lines and maybe a bit of premium. So, let's get Ranger out. They're going too much in the other direction. I think they're focusing more on sustained damage than alpha. Bear in mind, I did still put out 90,000 damage in a tier 6 carrier. I mean, okay, that was over a full 20-minute game, but... yeah. Are they going too far the other direction? Are they pandering to beam players? I'll be honest here. I have been that battleship. I have been on the receiving end of a Kaga strike 2 minutes in, and you know what? If your own fighters were looking the other way, if it was a Ranger and his squadron was off covering something else, well, it's kind of... there's not much you can do about a good Kaga player, or a good Graf Z player that decides to hammer you into the ground. With this system, that's not a thing anymore, so I could kind of see why they're going with relatively good sustained damage but very limited alpha on the carriers, just so everybody gets to have a reasonable game. Of course, if a battleship catches you full broadside in a carrier, you're going to eat multiple citadels and you're going to have a high alpha problem, but, well, yeah. If a battleship gets a shot like that, you did something wrong. As Data points out, the planes can attack without consequences. You can't run out of fighters now. Running into flak is more of an opportunity cost in terms of lost time in transit. And if the carrier player is aggressive and has a good launching position like I had in that game, then you're looking at a really quick turnaround on the attack aircraft, and it's kind of... who cares? Ooh, up tier. They've got Shokakus in there. I didn't think that was possible. We've got an 8-6 split. This is either going to be really interesting for us, or it's going to be hell on earth for all those tier 6s, because we've got tier 8 Shokakus in what is otherwise a tier 6 game. Right. Okay. That's... that's going to give us some interesting results on the matchmaker. Yeah, I mean, in the, for want of a better term, old setup, I mean, can you imagine getting a cargo into a mostly tier 5 game?
Autopilot mode enabled.
Can you say ouch? Okay, well, we'll put the fighters straight up. As noted, there doesn't seem to be a difference between premium fighters and the standard guys. So I'm a little surprised by that, and we'll put the dive bombers up first, I think. Get the SBDs. Oh, they're SB2s. Right, away we go. What kind of top speed have these guys got? 185. Yeah, manageable. That's gonna make things interesting. 8-6 spreads happen. Yeah. Well, it would be an interesting game for the tier 8 carriers if they were of a mind for it, but let's intercept his torpedo bombers first. Kind of telegraphing the move here, but dump the fighter, there we go. Own fighters are deploying, that should be the range. Oh no, that's the Ryujo's planes. So the Shokaku has got his rockets through, which is going to be a bit of a pest. Now I may be about to get lewd with a battleship. Who cares? Come on, bombers, let's go.
Taking fire.
No, he's looking at the destroyers. What is shooting at me, though? Ah, there we are. Okay, cruiser there, Pensacola, Hudson High. Right, let's go for the Pepsi. And the carrier's on fire.
The ship is on fire.
Right. Dive bombers, go. Wow, we're taking a pounding. Okay. Go for the lead. There we are.
Target.
Dives up. Bomb's gone.
Fire.
2 hits. And we've got enough planes left to make another run. So skid out the back. Let's go for the carrier. Actually, no, let's not go for the carrier because he'll just heal that back. Turn in. We're not going to do this. Abort. Right, rockets. We've got a possible double destroyer bully. 227 again. It's all about the cycle time, isn't it? Hello, Fumtu. Right. Destroyer bully. Gerda and Fushun. Okay, we'll lead the Fushun. Lock on. Commit, commit, commit. Rockets away. Roll past. There's a Leander. Right, skid in. Targeting. 2 more hits. Right. Torp bombers. I'm wondering if the Americans are keeping their large squadron advantage. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many are we going to get in a drop? Well, we'll find out in a moment. Again, looking for the Leander. There he is. So, come at him broadside on. Give plenty of lead. And commit the run. Need to give it some time to stabilise. And running. Okay, 2 per drop again, so 3 drops in total. Leander is turning into that, so he's going to get some torpedo beat in. Can I cycle round and try and catch him again?
Approaching target. We're under attack. Returning to ship.
Okay, that was interesting. Got a somewhat wider spread that time. I'm going to drop fighters, just see if they can actually hold spotting. We'll task the Leander again. Target the drop.
We're under attack. Returning. Taking fire.
Torpedoes running. Bombers going.
Maintaining present course.
Hit. Hit. In the belt, however, so he's not failing. Come on, get airborne. Turned away. I've no idea what... Yeah, they've basically turned it into... Battleship Midway is a good one, I think. Problem is, I can't tell if the carriers if the defense fighters are actually capable of spotting. Also, I note narrow arc. Well, relatively wide arc, considering. Do I have to leave a lot more time than I'm thinking to get a decent drop corridor? Alright, let's let things stabilise. There we go. And yeah, the moment you widen up... There we go. Torpedoes running. And again, it went for the weakest target. Turn. Never mind. Rockets are just easier to use. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Maintaining present course.
Miss with the torpedoes, annoyingly.
Taking fire. We're under attack. Engaging enemy.
Rockets are basically, well, let's be honest here, idiot-proof. Circular drop, engagement angle doesn't matter, nice, easy sight to read. DFA, I didn't think DFA caused panic, but that's something to test.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire. Returning.
Definitely something worth testing. Right, Leander's gone into smoke, so we know where he was.
Engaging enemy.
Okay, come on then. Fire!
Returning to ship.
Yep, you don't need to see something to hit it. That's worth knowing. Wow, they've got different audio for the various flak guns. Huh, that's kind of cool. Right, fighters down. Let's distract this guy and run the torp bombers over and away. The fighters were not distracted. This is bad. On the bright side, now they're all dead.
Taking fire.
And I think my fighters kind of engaged.
Approaching target.
I think it might be damage related. If your fighters have taken serious hits, they will be more panicked and less likely to actually land shots.
Airborne. Taking fire. Approaching target. Taking fire. Returning.
Maybe it was defensive fire, I don't know. Anyhow, let's roll past and hit the Fuso.
Taking fire. Returning to ship. Taking fire.
Okay, locked on.
Enemy. Returning to ship. Taking fire.
Okay.
We're under
Torp bombers.
attack.
DFA causes wider spreads.
Taking fire. Airborne.
DFA causes panic. I was under the impression that panic was kind of a gone thing,
Enemy.
but I could be wrong.
Returning. Taking fire.
Let's see how he handles a cross drop. It may also be a control input thing when you're diving. So let's try these guys. And it's how long you let them run.
We're under attack.
Okay, so the Fuso is turning. Alright. Torp's running.
Fire. Returning to ship.
Might catch him. Okay, got him once. Turn back. Let's catch him from the stern.
Engaging enemy.
I wonder if it's a question of how much control input you have while they're going into the dive. Because I was trying to maneuver at that point. I think you have to let them stabilize. Movement during attack run affects the spread. Yeah. I wonder if just the fact that I was using a mouse to adjust the keyboard to adjust my aim rather than the mouse might have been what did it. Because the rockets are fairly stable, they're not really responsive to maneuvering. Torpedo bombing might well be the high precision, high damage, but you better get it right option. Okay.
Approaching target. Returning. The ship is on fire.
But yeah, fires go out very fast on the car. I can kind of see why Wargaming is saying you don't need to worry about damp on these things. Then again, I still think that's kind of a... yeah. I'm tempted to suggest, well, why are you even bothering with fires if the cooldown's that long? Rockets away. Dead? Who knows? Torp's running. Let's... yeah, there he goes. Right, let's try something a little more controlled. Yeah, those Shokaku Torps are running pretty fast. Well, we're going to probably get the Shokaku after this game, so let's go hunting. All that's left is their carriers. Torp bombers away, we'll go find him. And our other carriers push forward as well. So he's clearly working on the get aggressive approach too. There we are, we have a target. Right. So... oh, we've got both of them. Okay. Well, let's stabilise. That's some serious lewd going on there. Dive in. Neither of them really manoeuvring, but yeah. I think it's... if you're dropping during that initial manoeuvre phase, you have a problem. Sorry, if you manoeuvre during that initial dive, there is an issue. Anyhow, let's skid back. Turn in again. Stabilise. This time I'm going to jink a little, just to weave. And yeah, there you have it. It really does affect it if you manoeuvre at the wrong moment. Kind of suspected, but it's nice to have the proof. Also pop the boost. Let's run this guy. Never mind, he's going to run into a lot of fighters anyway. Would you need more range for Torp bombers to lead out them? Basically, yes. Of course, that does complicate things because the Torps are relatively... well, they're not terrible, but they're still 46 knots. Let's have a look at the Shokaku, I think.
Taking fire.
Also drop fighters just out of moderate flak range. Turn in. Rockets away.
Returning to ship.
And wow, the flak on the show. Oh, you have fighters on me as well. Flak and defensive fighters are murderous, aren't they? Okay. Torp bombers again, I think. We'll go have a look at the usual.
Present course.
Come here, little aircraft launching destroyer. Yeah, easy target. Let's interact. The kind of the point, I suppose. Probably, yeah. There's the usual. So, I mean, if I just take my hands off the controls for this dive, you can see it stabilizes. It widens a little if you're lining up. You also can't really judge maximum range on that. Oh, there we go. Right. Give me a second. I'm muting the game audio because I have a suspicion that there's about to be a very large ding. Yeah, there we go. Saved you guys that. Just saving your ears. Romulan torpedo bombers. And yeah, not too bad. It's actually got more air kills than the Ranger did. That was not nearly as one-sided as I thought it was going to be. Huh. You're welcome, Data. You're welcome. Right, so Ranger and Lexington, along with eventually... oh, let's just kill my filters for a second. Set for carriers and hide unsuitable. So we now have Shokaku and, of course, Lexington. We're up to the tier 8s. Okay, let's see what a difference this makes. Modules, I think. So, of course, better aircraft. So, A6M5C's now having the strike aircraft, much faster. More aircraft in the squadron. 6 rockets on the plane. Hello, Heisenberg. Thank you for the follow. And more damage, 2,200 per rocket. And they're dumping 6 of those per pass. That's kinda youch. So, flight mod, attack aircraft mod, so you get extra HP. Honestly, I would say you're probably looking for dive bombers HP, I would say. The rocket aircraft can get in and out fairly quickly. Engine mod, yeah, we'll have another 20% on the boost for everybody, I think. And we have a new mod slot, which is just concealment. No aircraft there. We'll see what the tier 10s do shortly. And, of course, Air Groups mod 1, just to speed up the RTB process. Okay. Just don't tell temporal investigations. We discovered the cloaking device back then. Well, I hear there were those Ferengi that crashed down in New Mexico. Right, torpedo acceleration would be good. Squadron speed 5% I can live without. Torp acceleration, however, yes please. And we'll go for recovery time, more planes, and of course faster aiming on the planes. Speaking of torpedoes and speed and all other manners of fun, the Tenzan torpedo bombers, 46 knot torpedoes, 7,200 damage. And, okay, 1 torpedo per plane. So you're looking at 14,500 damage per salvo if they all hit. The dive bombers, you're looking at 2 per attack, 12,002 if they all hit. The rockets, again, 2 per attack, but that's 12 missiles. So 12 times 2,200. 26,400 if they all hit, but it is high explosive. I didn't see anything. No, just look at this little flashy pen light I've got. Chunk. Right, so, yeah. So, potentially, you've put all the rockets on target. That's the single most devastating strike going. And that is something very well worth noting. Also, partially restored squad. Dive bombers get to make mid-air repairs. Well, I won't deny that they need it, but, okay. I won't pretend to understand the logic behind that one. Let's just get this in there. I have a feeling the rockets are about to become kinda hilarious. Considering that those are the most, yeah. I don't have the upgraded bombers equipped. Well, luckily there are 90-second queues on this thing, so that's not a problem. Exterior, excuse me. I thought I had them equipped, but I could be wrong. Oh. Okay, well, standard torpedo bombers and upgraded dive bombers as well. Okay, so let's have another look at those. So, 3 per flight, so it's 3 times 7,600. Oh, helps if I don't let my old car. Okay, so that's 22,800 potential on the dive bombers. The torpedo bombers are putting 2 per on a flight of 8. Sorry, 4 flights to 8. Still only 14,000 and change on the torp bombers. So the dive bombers are getting there, but they're finicky to use. And the rockets are just, I think, going to be easier. Upgrade the hull as well. Oh, good point. Thank you. Not that that's going to make a huge amount of difference. Because, yoink, there we are. I mean, it just upgrades the flak and the maneuverability. It doesn't do anything to the hangar capacity. And yes, before anyone says, yes, I'm aware I didn't bother camoing her up. What, I'm just going to find a convenient mountain and park her behind that. Yes, lewd. Flags. Yes, I know, flags. Look, it's test. It's all for science. Just assume the camo is cloaked, okay? Wait, no, that goes into even Leuda territory, doesn't it? Right. You guys, check out. Here comes Ocean. Don't, just don't. Flags are absolutely. Flags are only important on the British carriers for colonial purposes. Nobody else gets flags. We cannot have cloth of mass colonization. Okay, Lexi and Shokaku, and it's all... of course I get the tier 8 matchmaking, don't I? Bah! Bah, I say. But I did also observe that the rockets were likely going to dominate here. On the bright side, I has a convenient mountain to hide behind. There we go. Full ahead there. Drop out of map mode. We'll lead with the fighters. I'm starting to think that this might be why Wargaming have put a repair party in as an alternate consumable here, because fires and flooding fix so fast on these planes that you might as well just let them burn out and recover the health afterwards. Which is an interesting way to take it, but there you go. So, let's get some rocket planes up and go play some Elton. Fighters committing.
Battle starts.
Rocket attack aircraft are launching M1K Kyotos.
Maintaining present course.
Not a bad plane. And probably quick with it as well. How? 234 knots on about 7 seconds of burner time. Not bad at all. Of course, his rocket planes aren't exactly hanging about either. Hey boys! Oh, those are the Lexi's aircraft. Carrier detection. Fighters are up, of course, but he'll likely be going straight for the destroyer. Speaking of destroyers,
Engaging enemy.
crack down, lock on,
Under attack. Returning.
one hit. 700 damage as anticipated. Let's get back. Stabilize.
Under attack. Returning.
One more hit. Fired a bit early there. Push it forwards. Turn back.
Approaching target.
Clear shot that time. Missed completely. Note to self, lead time on these bombers. And we've got flak coming down. Well, let's have a look at the cruiser instead.
Approaching target. Under attack. Returning.
Okay. Possibly limited damage thanks to the... Oh no, that was 5 penetrations. I think we're getting deck and superstructure hits here, which is why having relatively low pen on these rockets really doesn't matter very much.
We're under attack. Returning.
Matters if I miss, of course. Well, let's try the torpedo bombers.
Airborne.
As before, cycle time is everything. And we'll start with that cruiser, I think, the Charles Martel. So, track him on, get an approximate lead solution, and start the dive. Hands off the controls.
We're under attack. Returning to ship.
Took a while to stabilise those, didn't it? Okay, the other thing I want to test is if I can drop a fighter squadron over this guy.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
And then turn back and just see if those fighters do any spotting. Depending on how long they last. Let's have a look at the battleship.
Engaging enemy.
Okay. Down, stabilize that. Launch.
Fire. Returning to ship.
Accelerate past. Turn out. Look at the next battleship.
We're under attack.
I think you have to run a certain amount of time without maneuvering
Returning to ship.
in order to get the torp arc to stabilize. And you know what?
Maintain.
I don't know if it's the smoke or the other aircraft. Unfortunately, that's kind of junking my plan to test whether or not the cat fighters can spot. Because if they can, I can just leave that guy up there and he'll be, well, pinned for an extended period. Okay. I'm sailing right into a tight cluster of flak here. Let's look at this cruiser. Skid back. Commit.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire. Returning to ship.
Note to self. You have to allow for quite a bit of lead time on those bombs. CV lead. And yes, you are very quick if you don't mind using your booster to get spotting and damage done. Okay, this one is sailing away. It's North Carolina.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire. Returning to ship.
As noted, the rockets, yeah, certainly the easiest to use.
Airborne.
And if you don't mind plugging in your boosters, yeah, you can get rocket planes up really quickly. No questioning that.
Taking fire. Engaging
Okay,
enemy.
committing.
Taking fire. Returning.
Yow, how much was that? 10,000, give or take. And now I can just turn around and do it again. Oh no, I can't, he's dead. Oops.
Taking fire. Engaging enemy.
Missed.
Fire. Returning to ship.
Clipped him, still got 3, and I'm having trouble catching the damage numbers. Let's swing back. Hit him again. And yoink.
Engaging enemy.
Just lead. I mean, the rocket motors barely care. I mean, 8 hits. I don't know how much actual damage that was, but we're going to try the spotter test again, by the way. So, fly over this guy, drop fighters, we'll turn onto the battleship while we're here.
Engaging enemy.
Locking on.
We're under attack. Returning to ship.
And break well clear, so that destroyer should be the only... Yeah, it looks like... I don't know, could still be his dive bombers spotting for us.
Target.
Oh, there we go. He's doing a very good job of sabotaging that test.
Maintaining present course.
Those planes aren't QFUs, aren't they? No. I will pass that on to Wargaming. Also, oh, there we go. The engines did come back. Right.
Taking fire. Approaching target.
So, hands off the controls while we... You see that timer on the torp liner? I think when that's hit 0, then it does the quick stabilization.
Taking fire.
So that's what you have to wait for. I'm sabotaging my own test here. Never mind. Brake.
Approaching target.
Commit. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. That's what you're looking for. You need that timer to stabilize. I suspect if I go into an attack and start jinking... No, it's still stabilizing. No, it was perfectly happy. Interesting. Boo. Oh, well, it was a worthy sacrifice. Rockets again, please. 60,000 damage so far. We'll have a look at the damage breakdown later. Those are Shindens. Right. Yeah, the different flak sounds are nice. Wouldn't surprise me if they'd tried to get the actual flak sounds from the weapons themselves. Only 1,000 off that, but 2 hits, an in cap. And of course I can just turn back and do it again.
Our team has taken the lead.
I mean, rockets really, really are idiot-proof as weapons go. I mean, you're reliant entirely on RNG to contain the damage there. And because you can cycle back so fast... Where is he? Ah, who cares? Motor up. Missed. Ooh. Ah, there he is. Had the right idea, just aimed at the wrong bit of water. Turn it back. Drop the fighters again, just to keep things contested. Turn back, lock on. Here he comes. Ooh. Torp bombers got there first. Right, dive bombers, I think.
Maintaining present course.
Hakuryu's planes are completely fictional. I mean, unless they intend to use Repu, Hakuryu is fictional as well, so it's not really a surprise that she's got fictional aircraft. Turn in, start the run.
Taking fire.
Come here, Comrade Ushakov.
Approaching target.
Okay. Right, basically this is a preventive. It's not restoring planes that are actually lost, understandably. It's purely to keep your own planes intact, while, I don't know, you frantically try and find some bailing wire. Oh, Citadel, yes. As noted, they're finickier than the Torp bombers, but they're in their way, but they are easier to get damage hits if you get the approach right. Now, are his fighters going to commit onto mine? Yes, they are. Perfect. Hello, comrade. Still having some difficulties over there.
We're under attack. Returning. Maintaining.
Eric, I'm honestly not sure. I know they reset all the accounts, but oh right. Halsey, really? Do you have to get your carrier lead on? It was bad enough with Task Force 34. Duct tape is now carried on aircraft. Apparently so, although only limited supplies of it. Okay. Oh, dropped this way too early. Come on, come on, come on. Bombs! Okay, still got that right at the last moment. Turn it back, turn it back to back. My kill! My kill!
Approaching target. Taking fire.
Boom. Right. Next thing I want to test, again, we're going to see if... Ooh, change of plan. Well, I've successfully decoyed him. Rockets up.
Maintaining present course.
Yeah, it's all about the damage, isn't it?
Returning to ship. Airborne.
And yes, I did just abort a salvo in order to put emergency fighters up. Oh, cloaked ship. Again. Yeah, that rocket plane fighter. It's also... Oh, the J8.
Engaging enemy. We're under attack. Returning. Taking
Torps
fire.
away.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire. Returning to ship. Returning to ship. Airborne.
Well, I'd like to be able to say that the fighters are able to get a spot there, but honestly, that's more because we've now got destroyers close enough to spot, so those guys are a hard lock at the moment. And we've almost won. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so 96,000 damage, 1 citadel. Let's look at the breakdown of how the damage was done. So, bombs did 30,000 from hits. I don't know how much of that was that 1 citadel. About 6,000. So, of those 14 hits, 24,000 were off 13, so about 2,000 per. The rockets were less consistent. 33% hit rate. I think that's what's moderating their sheer damage. Torpedoes, 31,000. Interesting, off 28 launches. So the bombs are more accurate and arguably more consistent as a result, but the torps were doing more damage. And of course, floodings and fires came in behind as well. Okay. Remember when Tier 10 got jet fighters? Well, let's try the Lexington. That should be enough to get us up to Tier 10. Oh, we have 2 options for attack aircraft. We can either have the Volta F4U ones with 5-inch FFARs, 8 per, or we can get the F4U Tiny Tim, which only have 2 per, but look at the damage on those things. 10,800, link recovery time 63 seconds, Tiny Tim rockets. Somebody had a sense of humour about those. So, do you put out 16,000 damage of really, really small rockets? Or do you fire a couple of absolute monsters? Decisions. The torpedoes aren't bad either. They're a bit behind the Japanese ones. 6,004. We'll upgrade there. And of course, high explosive dive bombers. 9,002 on the high-X warhead. Yike. That could be interesting. Let's try the nukes. I mean, what could possibly go wrong there? So, standard modules, air groups mod 1, that's a no-brainer. Damcon 1, again, no-brainer. Flight control, quicker restore. Let's try the attack aircraft. Just boost these rockets up. And we'll go for aircraft engines. I suspect that's going to be probably the best option. I'm not quite sure what this extra 2 seconds of aiming time is. Kind of at a loss on that one. I don't see how that would affect anything if you can't get your shots off in the time allocated. And as before, standard things. So air armor. Could go for a bit of extra boost, actually. Boost versus air defense. You know what? We're going to go with the boost. 20% extra after time makes for quicker turnarounds. So, torp acceleration. Of course, once you have a 19-point captain, this kind of turns into a non-entity. So I think it's basically plus 50 hit points per aircraft level. So that would be 400 health at this tier per plane. Kind of worth trying. And of course, quick aiming on the aircraft, because that does seem to be a very necessary skill. Another no-brainer. Right. And because we got complaints last time, there we go. She has camo. Are you happy? Nuclear explosions. Also, it's worth it, of course, that the US have got plenty of carrier-based aircraft to choose from, so it's not like the Akuryu, where aircraft production was basically bombed to almost nothing by 44-45, along with most of the rest of Japanese heavy industry, but that's another matter entirely. I forgot to upgrade the hull. Who cares? We'll call her Saratoga if that makes you happy. Wait, no. Lexington was sunk before she got upgraded, so it's still Saratoga anyway. Details. I mean, strictly speaking, it really is Saratoga. Lexington always had her 8-inch guns, rather than the 5-inch dual purpose, which could actually be interesting. That could be a possible premium if they're willing to rename Lexington as Saratoga and then put Lexi back in with the 5-inch premium as close-range secondaries. Kind of do a US-flavoured Graf Zepp, depending on what they do with the Graf Zepp. Haku didn't need to have those instead as bombers. True enough. Tier 10 with Papa Papa or Anshin on the Anshin scenario. I'd like to say the Anshin scenario would be less stress, but this is PvE. I think it will come with it or shortly after Ranger, but I am totally guessing there. I can see them putting the British line out as a, hey, we've got these new toys for you to play with while you're getting used to the new carriers. But at the same time, with all the premiums presumably coming back to the store as well, in their new form, and people getting used to the US and Japanese lines, they might hold it off a bit, let the bugs work themselves out, let things bed in. You'd have to go and ask Wargaming. They ain't telling. At least not yet. Anyhow, let's get straight up into the battle. As before, standard drills, put the cat fighters up first, find an island to hide behind. You know what? I'm going to do something a little bit risky here. I would normally never do this in the Lexington, but you know what? We'll just park up over here. What's the worst that could happen? Answer, I sail right into a barrage of flak and get shot out of the sky in short order. And of course, get the defense fighters off the ground immediately. Let's go try these nukes, shall we? So, pop a booster. I accidentally launched my torpedo bombers. Whoops, oh well, never mind. Fly, my pretties, fly! They have got to fix this cloaking device bug. And we'll also drop fighters, just to give him something to think about. If he tries for the destroyer, he's going to get a shock. But he's not trying for the destroyer, so I just wasted the fighter squadron. Okay, let's turn around and head for that battleship. It's a... oh, it's a tier 6 battleship. Lunch! Ooh, that's nice. individual corridor markings? Monsieur, with these torpedo bombers, you are spoiling us. Right, circle around, see if we can get another drop in. That he's turned already. Right, dive, dive, dive. Stabilize the launch. Immediate. Not perfect, but it'll do. Turn back on the Helldivers. I think we might have a Japanese dive bombers of AP bombs. US aircraft have arguably easier to use torpedoes, better torpedoes. Kind of hard to say at this stage. Point blank launch. And now let's get the rockets in the air. Okay, those are the rockets? Holy! Yeah, those aren't small. Off we go. Let's see what these things can do. Accuracy doesn't look too great on them, but... Go to DEFCON 17. DEFCON 17, I think, would actually be relatively peaceful. Wow, look at the launch arc on these. I think he might have felt that. Also, we definitely felt that. Look how we're suddenly down to basically one plane. Turn back. Snap on. Oh, hello, torpedo bombers. Miss me. Unfortunately, now I need to go harder starboard and put the rockets back in the air. There's a destroyer over there. Okay, well, I would almost prefer saturation compared to the Tiny Tims, honestly, but there you go. Right. Dumper fight squadron. We'll try that spotting test again. And miss completely with the rockets, left the launch too late. Circle back.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire. Taking fire. Returning to ship.
Okay, definitely more inclined to try the saturation approach with the FFARs.
Approaching target.
Or maybe it's just that I can't shoot straight. But these Tiny Tims are very definitely taking their time to aim. They're almost more like, well, rocket-powered torpedoes at this point. So let's give it more of a run. With the FFARs, you could take a shotgun approach. With the Tiny Tims, you have to learn to stabilize. And then miss anyway. Okay, rockets again, I think. Keep giving me to try. Yeah, DEFCON 17 is definitely get me some coffee. So, stabilize that up. Two hits.
Approaching target. We're under attack. Returning to ship. Taking fire. We're under attack.
Yep, definitely preferring the FFARs. So we'll just dump those, head back to the carrier, and put the torp bombers up instead. Need to try the dive bombers as well, of course. However, for the moment,
Taking fire. Approaching target.
complete stabilization. Come on. Come on.
Taking
Torps
fire.
running.
Returning to ship. Approaching target.
Crack again. Crack a third time. Turn back.
Approaching target. Taking fire. Returning.
Dive bombers up.
Airborne.
I think it's definitely turning into a case of once you get used to what these, how this works, you start getting a little more interest, but I still don't necessarily think it's quite got the tactical depth of the old RTS version. Try DEFCON -25. DEFCON -25, I believe, is the entire solar system is now going to war.
Taking fire. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly. Approaching target.
Come on. Ah, missed it. Okay, flooding does not fix that fast. Worth knowing. Also, hello torpedoes. There we go. Right. Rockets, I think.
Maintaining present course.
Also, there we are. There's an internal cooldown on popping engine boost after you pop your fighter cover. Right, we'll let the Tims recover. Oh, he's not dead. Interesting. Yeah, these are almost like rocket-powered high-explosive bombs in terms of the way they're handling.
Approaching target. Under attack. Returning.
Oh, I'm on
The ship is
fire.
on fire.
I don't think I care.
Approaching target. Taking fire. Returning to ship. Returning.
You know what?
Under attack.
Screw it. Get the torp bombers up. Pop
Airborne.
fresh defensive fighters, and we'll just go for a torpedo oh no, he's going to burn. Right. Battleship time? Battleship time.
We're under attack. Approaching target. We're under attack. Returning. Taking fire.
It's definitely more arcadey, I would say, Eric. And yes, it does take a while to get the feel, but can but try.
Taking fire. Taking fire. Engaging.
Stabilize.
Returning. Taking fire.
Oh dear. Well, I think I just exploded. That's unfortunate. And I'm not even sure those torps are going to catch up. Then again, he is turning. But if you think about how long it just took him to actually get that shot and make that kill, CV sniping's gone. I think we can safely conclude that. But at the same time, fighters, the best you can hope for is to do some damage and knock the planes down. You can't panic the bomber pilots rather, the way you used to be able to. Anyhow, that game is about to end, so what I'm going to do is reset, and we'll grab a Cleveland, I think. Quickly configure her for anti-air. So there we go. Adrenaline Rush does... Ooh, Adrenaline Rush increased squadron speed for every 1% of lost combat capability. Ha! Huh. So as the planes get shot down or lose health, the fighters... Well, everything gets faster. Okay. BFT, and we'll go for manual anti-air. And we'll just quickly reconfigure. Research. Yoink and yoink. Add in fire control. Spec for anti-air. So let's have a look at how they've changed these modules. Orgs armaments hasn't changed. Damcon 1, of course, that hasn't changed either. So, AA guns mod 1. 20% short range, only 10% long range, as opposed to 20% across the board. So I think they're trying to nerf things like the 5-inch dual purpose and the 6-inch dual purpose on the Minotaur. And concealment 1 to finish. And we'll just load up... just load a camo. Anything will do. Signals... Oh, 5% anti-air damage. That hasn't changed either. Mod ammo consumables will have... Okay, so... A defense damage goes up 75%. Number of breaks, I'm guessing that means it fires 1.5 times as fast at long range. I think. But they've nerfed that quite considerably. Because AA damage used, of course, to go up 300 or even 400%. And we'll add a hydro search just for this. Right, let's go. It's the total control of spotting. Yeah, Last Kaiser, I would say that's something the case. Okay. Really terrible. Honestly, if a carrier player wants you dead, you're still going to have a hard time of it, but you're not going to get wiped in 2 minutes. It's going to take him a while to knock you down. I think it was I think it was a week ago. It was on stream. We completely ate an Independence's fighter complement in an Atlanta, and there was nothing he could do about it. USBBs will still die for C4. Again, it takes time, however. Ooh, tier 10 and tier 8. I think the matchmaking hates me. Let's see what a Hercurio and a Midway are capable of when we're on the receiving end. Halp. Also, I forgot the premium Damcon. Extra Halp. Okay, well, let's see. Flak range really knocked down. Only 5.8. Okay, I've no AFT, but you'll get maybe... Yeah, you might still get 7 and change with that. Better than Wargaming not liking you. At least new carriers can only control spot. Yeah, that is definitely an improvement. They're not the Uber Scouts that they were. CV's fault, yes, CV's fault. Nepta's not like carriers, as you may possibly have noticed. Okay. Well, let's see how this goes. And away we roll. Wow, those things are fast. Okay, they're not jet-powered, but they're still not hanging about. What is that, 250 knots, give or take? And, as noted, the... yeah, I mean, they are without question getting the early spotting, and some early damage on the Bismarck as well. And here come the Hakuryu's dive bombers. Still nothing to aim at the moment, which kind of limits the impact of an AA spec build. I mean, at this point, normally I'd be reasonably sure that something would have poked its nose into my anti-air sector. Oh, and again, I withdraw my original comment. Now, how does manual anti-air work these days? Do I even have it anymore? Where's the button for setting fire sectors? I was expecting it to be control. Consumables, camera, tactical map, change position, artillery camera. Ah, AA sector reinforcement is on. Oh! What's it doing over there? Okay, right. Faster sector switching on out. I don't know why they didn't put that on control, honestly. That's where... Well, if you put up control, of course, you then obscure your mouse vision, that's why. But O's a really odd place to have it. Those guns are a bit loud. Excuse me a sec. Settings. Audio will just knock the SFX volume down quite considerably if you don't mind. There we go. Port side reinforced. So 5 seconds to switch. 3, 2, 1. And while that's taking effect, there we go. So it's basically a 30%, 40% shift.
Enemy destroyer detected.
Critical engine damage. We're taking on water quickly.
Oh yes, and there's also a tier 10 destroyer lurking. Oops.
Enemy battleship detected. Enemy destroyer detected.
Boom. Boom.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
Woo! Right. Which is a nice distraction from the main event, but I still want to see if we can actually do something. Come on, anti-air. At least those are dodgeable. Of course, the other problem is that the carrier drivers are humans, so they're not in a hurry to run in front of a Cleveland, are they? That's an issue. Still, I get to abuse some bots. The bots might get to abuse me, but that's another matter entirely. Yeah, the bot is definitely contemplating abusing me. Is it too late to apologise? Maybe. Yike. It's too late to say sorry. Run away. Run away very quickly. Do. Okay, see ya, Data. Enjoy the meal. I actually need to start thinking about food as well, but that's besides the point. Okay. Right, we've got something in the flak sector here. Come on then. Let's see what this can do. Defensive fire is up. And these are coming off the Lexington. And so he's committing 3. Well, that's uninspiring, isn't it? Normally a Cleveland with DFAA would be absolutely deadly to Lexington's planes, but not this time it seems. Did he just fly clean through my defensive fire and I didn't knock a single thing down? Because that's what it looked like from here.
Our
Okay.
team
taken the lead.
Tier 8 Cleveland AA is nothing special. Yes, but you would still expect it to do something. Especially against Tier 8 planes. I don't know, maybe I'm just remembering the old murder, death, kill days. Last week, basically. Great at Tier 6, but only average at Tier 8. True enough, but even so, anti-air cruiser at Tier 8. That should have given that Lexington something to think about. Also, can I click center to reset my sector? Apparently not. Jink. Okay, get him onto the starboard side. Force him to... There we go. Got some damage on the torque bombers, ironically enough. Turn in. Oh no, rocket bombers. Sorry, my apologies. He's going to be turning back. Come on, turn, 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 turn. Okay, that's more like it. Interestingly, without defensive fire. Huh. Also, I don't seem to have a way to reset my air defense sectors once I commit. You think clicking in the center would take you back to neutral, but no. No, that's apparently not how this works. Oh well, stuff you learn. That starboard sector is reinforced. So, once they get into range, we'll pop defensive fire and radar. Well, defensive fire. The radar was actually just fumble fingers. And again, it's very much about the short-range flak, isn't it? Short-range did plenty. Jinking like mad did plenty. The actual 5-inch guns, well, they're thinking about it. Let's turn it on this guy. Whoa! That was a Hakuryu's snap. He only barely broke away from the formation as well. So, do we have to show our size for the airwork? Well, I'm not sure. I am honestly not sure. They've moved away from the Aura model, but if you have to show flat broadside, if they're now tracking line of sight from individual guns, which I didn't think they were before. I didn't think they changed that. I mean, we can test it, certainly. I mean, that's what this is all about. But that's kind of putting a bit of a problem for the AA boats. If you really have to swing the boat round to make that work. I didn't think that was the case, Val. I thought it was still optimizing on a 360 Aura. Oh, God, sorry. Ouch. Didn't think it was going to do that. Yeesh. Yes, I am aware that the battleship Republique has acquired elite status. Really? What is it about the French that they have got to tell me about this? How many Republiques? I think at this point we are on the... we are some way past the 4ème République. We are probably onto the 10ème. 20ème République? I honestly... Oh, no, it stopped. Sorry, Westo. I didn't realise it was going to do that ding. Oh, still, we have got a Worcester to play with as far as anti-air boats go. Yes, there will be fun. Also, how are we doing on the combat missions? Because, of course, we're almost there. Almost to 12,000 base XP. That's what you need for the doubloons. And, of course, main account 3 gets you tier 10 ships. 5,000 base XP gets you some special flags. Right. I suppose we... Actually, no, I'm going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll come back to the tier 10s when I'm fresh on Friday. Actually, no, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do an extra scene tomorrow, 2200 GMT. because I want to hit these guys when I'm fresh. I also want to go and get some food because I'm hungry. And my Ultra Instinct Republique. So, thank you one and all. As noted, Discord is there if you want to follow what I'm getting up to on there. Plan will be a bonus stream 2200 tomorrow, Thursday the 29th of November. We'll look at the tier 10 carriers and also have another look at the tier 10 anti-air boats. Because let's face it, I've got a Worcester. And, well, what else am I going to do but try and bully some planes with it? Until then, ladies and gentlemen, farewell and thank you all for coming.